Hey guys, so today I'm wandering off track. We're going to be working on the Prado here, and what we're going to be doing is changing out these from being silver to gloss black. So it's something I've done on quite a few of my cars in the past. Normally one of the first things I do just to give it a bit better of a look. Now I've gone through and selected what I need to do the job. So I've got some wax and grease remover, some drop sheets just to protect the area, and the wheels, and I need to paint on the body, some masking tape to secure it, different grades of wet and dry sandpaper. So there's goes from I think 400 grit all the way up to 1200, so you start with the heavier one, then work your way up just to do the fine stuff to finish it off. I've got a bit of a flexible sanding pad just to make it a bit easier. Got the etch primer here, which you put on first, so that just puts down the first coat over the alloy wheels, which will then provide a good foundation for the black here. So I got this Dulux epoxy enamel from Bunnings actually. I've used it before, it works really well. It's quite hard wearing, and it's cheaper than buying some of the other wheel protective spray paints. Then I've also got a bucket here just for the wet and dry sandpaper, and I bought a little rechargeable workshop light just to make it a bit easier to see. So I'm going to try and do all four wheels today. So as you can see, that's the silver there. It's not bad, but it's just a bit bland for what we like. So yeah, I'm going to give it a go now and take you along for the steps and then see how we go. So the first thing we're going to do here is just going to grab our 360 grit sandpaper with a bucket of water. You just dip the sandpaper in the water, and then we're just going to rub all areas of the rim. It's still got a little bit of dirt on there. I did use wheel cleaner on it the other day, but when you're using the sandpaper, that'll get most of it off anyway, just to get a deep kind of groove into the alloy. And then after that, we'll go through the different layers of sandpaper until we get a nice smooth finish. But yeah, we'll give this one a go first. Okay, so we've done a round of the 360 grit. As you can see, it's taken off quite a bit of the polish that was on there, the shine. So it's just dug in, got rid of most of the gunk. It's just providing a nice roughed up surface for the primer to adhere to. So next we're going to go with the 400 grit, and then, 600 grit, and then go to a 1200, and then that should be it for this wheel, and then we'll get on to priming. I'm using the bucket of water and then a rag just to wipe off the excess. So we've done the 3 levels of sanding now. So we've done the 360, the 600 and the 1200 grit. Just made sure I got into all the edges there. There's a few little bits in between these lug nuts and what I do. So normally I would take the car or the wheel off whenever I'm doing this, but because I'm limited to space, I'm actually going to give it a go with the wheel on, so we'll see how it goes. I'll do one wheel first, and if it's too hard then not, but I'm just going to have to put a lot of protection in this guard and then behind the wheel where the brakes are, so I don't get any overspray, as well as the guard here. But fingers crossed we can do it. I know people have done it in the past, so we'll give it a go. So the next stage is to use this wax and grease remover just to get off any excess gunk or anything that's on there still from the sandpaper. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pour a tiny bit on there, and then we're just going to go around and work it in just to get rid of everything here. It's really handy. You'll get rid of all the dust or anything sitting there, just so there's a nice clean surface for when we put the etch primer on. So the next step is going to be masking up the tyre and the lug nuts there. So what I normally do is just put a layer of masking tape around the very rim. It's a bit tedious, but it's normally the best way to protect it, and then we'll put some drop sheets in there and go from there. Okay, so we're masked up, covered up, ready to go. So we've managed to get a drop sheet in behind there, just to cover up the disc rotor and the caliper there. So that should do the job. We've masked up around the tyre. Just got to mask up just around the edge there as well, just so we don't get too much on the tyre. And then we'll be hitting it with this edge primer first. Make sure it's well shaken so it doesn't spray unevenly. It'll be good. Okay, so I've done one coat now with the etch primer. As you can see, puts a nice little undercoat on there for you. Fills in any little imperfections and things like that before you put the paint on, but it applies pretty well. You can be a bit, I don't know, you don't want to put on too much, you especially don't want it to run, so you just got to do nice even passes, just let it dry. I'll let this one dry for a little bit, and then I'll put on a second coat, and then we'll go from there and see how close we are to putting on the paint. But looks pretty good, didn't get any overspray anywhere I don't want it to be, and yeah. Okay, so we've waited about an hour since putting on this first coat, and we're now going to go on to putting on the spray paint, or the black paint. So I've chosen the gloss black, just so a bit of a shine, but yeah, we'll see how it goes on, and then do one coat lightly, assess how it's going, make sure there's no runs or anything, and then put on a few more coats. See how many we need. Probably, I'd say three to four maybe, but we'll see. Alright, so I guess we provided a bit of an update on where we're at. So it's now getting dark, unfortunately, but this first wheel is done. Don't know where you can see, but very glossy. About 3 or 4 coats on there. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Easier to see it during the day, of course. And then we've started on this wheel. It's about 2 coats in on this one as well, which is also looking really good. A little bit of dust in there, but you can't really prevent that. But hopefully be done on this side soon, so we can work on the other side. So just like that, we're done. I actually finished off the wheels last night, late at night, just because I had to drive the cars today, so I wanted them to drive overnight. But pretty stoked with the result. They're very glossy, so they're kind of hard to see on camera. But yeah, I think it makes the car look a lot tougher than it did. Would definitely help if it had some muddies on it as well. But that's one step in the right direction. And yeah, pretty stoked with how all of them turned out. This one I've got to take the tape off the lug nuts there, but I think it looks pretty good with the silver and the black. And yeah, pretty simple to do, but it does take a little bit of time, a bit tedious, and you've got to be really careful with how well you sand it beforehand, and just to make sure that it bonds properly. But I'll take a few more photos of it and maybe take a little walk around and some better lighting, but pretty happy with how it is. And then on to the next thing, which should be hopefully something along the lines of suspension, bull bar maybe, or even just putting in the head unit once we get one, just so we have some Apple CarPlay and some other features. But yeah, a few more videos on the Prado, and I hope you enjoy them.